All right, so let's take a look at this cleaning truck. In previous video, I showed the Contour 2 that I've been using to clean the track with, which works really well. I just cut up Swiffer pads to go on it, and it works great. But hey, it's a truck and it looks neat, so I wanted to give it a shot, and the dog wants to bark at stuff today. Now, one of the things that you have to worry about with this truck is the amount of magnets. There are a lot of magnets in this truck, especially with the sweeper at the back has a magnet in it as well. It just comes with a standard motor, not a lot of torque, and you can burn it out. So I've removed all but the middle magnet here. I've removed the rear. I have the middle in. I have not removed this one. I still want contact. But what I did was, and I'll show you here, I made a little shim in my 3D printer. I put the shim in the slot where the magnet goes, then put the magnet in on top. You still get magnetic force, but it is not as strong, but it still holds it, and it moves real smooth. So there's not going to be a ton of drag, but it still keeps it down on the rail where you want that cleaning power. It also comes with microfiber cloths with holes in it for the tabs here, which go on like that. This goes on over top. You screw it down, everything's hunky-dory. I'll also cut and use the Swiffer pads for that because they just suck up everything. And eventually these will get ruined. But it comes with 2 of them to start with. Now, the problem with it being a rear clean is that when you're running this truck over the track, the underside is picking up all the crap before it gets to the cleaning pad. So if your track is really dirty, you're going to dirty up the truck before it even gets to this section. So I've done it both with using this in front, letting it push this to clear most of the debris out of the way if it hasn't been cleaned in a while, especially on my track and on the floor with dog hair and dust and everything else. The track gets dirty really, really fast. So it works really well with me running this in front. But if the track is cleaned regularly and you just want to do a little quick clean before a race, then that setup with it at the rear is just fine. You're just going to get minor amount off the track, which is great for like just when you're keeping up the track maintenance. That's fine. But I would recommend something like this on the front to clean a very dirty track. But what we'll do is we'll put this back together. We will, since I've left this really dirty, I haven't run the track in like a month because I've been doing other things, and I still have these cars here to do track tests with. Oh, look, there's some hair. So I'm going to clean the track, 1 lane without the Contour in front and 1 lane with it in front, and we will get a look at the differences. Here we are on the track. A couple of things of note with the magnets. I've gone back for this test to put 1 magnet in the rear, none in the middle, and the magnet in the rear, I have 2 of the standard Carrera shim, the metal shims. I have 2 of those on the bottom to take a little bit out of the downforce. Another thing to note, if you have the Carrera start light and you have it spanning multiple lanes, this will not fit under this. It'll fit in the, it'll go under in the middle 2 lanes, but not on the edge. It's going to hit. So keep that in mind. You want to come flying around and damage your truck. So as I said, I have left this track uncleaned for quite some time. So it is going to be exceptionally dirty. But I wanted to do that so we get a real good idea of what we're doing here. So we're going to do a pass run with both cleaners on it. And we're going to look at the underside. We're going to look at everything after it comes around. So let's go ahead and get her going. As you can hear, she's struggling a little bit from the reduced magnets. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the shim out. I think we'll restart it. We're going to take that shim out and redo it. And here we go again. Much better this time. A little bit of a swing out. You got to get the speed just right. You don't want it to, if it swings out, then it'll come around and the track pad will hit the outside lane. All right, so let's look at all the junk and see how this did. So the first one, yes, lots of dust and hair. As you can see, it's the problem of having a track on the floor. So a lot on the front pad. Now we'll look at the bottom of it. And quite a bit on the bottom. As you can see, it really picks up on the rails. So that's how it looks with just with using both. Now we'll do it again on the inside track with just the rear. Here we go with that slide again. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot underneath the truck this time. And yes, you want to play around with the downforce to get it just right and working to your liking. So let's have a look at the bottom. So, now see, a lot of crap on the bottom because there was nothing out front, and the track is extra dirty, and about the same on the bottom, on the back. So now we will turn this off for a second while I clean everything up. We've got a fresh pad on the back. We've already run it over this lane with both the front and rear. So now we're going to go over it with just the rear and see what she picks up. Sorry about my camera skills, trying to do this with my phone. Alright, let's have a look and see what we got on the bottom. Not much there. And the pad, as you can see, it's collecting a good bit of dirt off the rails. You'd also probably put some cleaner on that pad. So now what I'm going to do for the next test is to replace the microfiber that it comes with one of the Swiffer pads and see what that does on the inside rail. At it, I've got the Swiffer pad attached, and we're going to give this inside lane a run and see what we get. We get a little stoppage. And we're back, and what do we got? We got a little more junk on the front because we didn't have the pad on it in the first place in the front. And we got a lot more junk off the back end. A lot of dog hair. Now the final test. We've already run it over the outside lane twice. First with the front and rear. Second with just the microfiber on the rear. Now we're going to run it again with just the Swiffer to see if the Swiffer picks up anything more than the microfiber did. There we go. My wonderful camera skills. All right, what do we got? Let's see. Not much there. And the rear still picked up a lot, which is interesting because of there was not a lot on the microfiber. So the Swiffer, using the Swiffer pad is going to pick up a lot more junk. Although I see there's not as much where the rails are like the microfiber picked up. So what I'm going to say, for regular track cleaning, use the Swiffers, or in conjunction with the front. I don't expect anyone would let their track get this dirty. I have a Dyson vacuum that I just manually vacuum the track once a week, and then I'll run the cleaning cloth over it with the car before a race, just to make sure it's extra clean. So running the microfiber seems to pick up the most crap. Though I think if you want to condition the rails, it seems the microfiber one really gets good contact with the rails. So you've got two options there to mess with. But all in all, it's a fun way to clean your track, just to give it a once over before a race, a final cleaning, but still doesn't replace using a vacuum regularly. But it looks cool. I like it. I'll be using it. And that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching.